Hello and welcome to Super Over Decoded, powered by IDFC FIRST Bank. India versus Zimbabwe. Well, from here on, every game for India is a knockout game. Obviously, what happened against South Africa, post that, everything, right? So Zimbabwe, West Indies, so on and so forth. Keeping in mind a couple of things before this game. One, obviously the net run rate, because of the last game, India's net run rate was minus 3.8. So you needed to win against Zimbabwe and win big. That was one. Secondly, and very, very importantly, for the net run rate to come into equation, you needed South Africa to beat West Indies, because if West Indies would have beaten South Africa, then there was a possibility where there would have been three teams stuck on two victories, and that's where the net run rate would have come into the picture, and obviously then India is a little behind. So for that not to happen, from an Indian perspective, you needed South Africa to beat West Indies, which they did convincingly by 9 wickets. So the net run rate, even though is important, but not so much. The other important thing or something to look forward to in this game was the playing 11. So now the playing 11, in the last game, there was a few changes, but in this one, a couple of changes were made. Sanju Samson came in place of Rinku Singh, who actually had some family emergency, left the team, but he was available for selection. He came back and joined the team again. And the other one was Akshar Patel, the vice captain, replacing Washington Sundar. So these were the two changes, maybe somewhat unexpected lines, but the important bit was Sanju Samson. And I like this change because suddenly you have a right-hander in the top order. Otherwise, it were three left-handers back-to-back, 1, 2, 3, Ishan Kishan, Abhishek, and then Tilak Verma. But now you've got a right-hander there. So that makes a lot of sense, and we'll talk about that in detail why in the next segment. Now, the toss. It was in Chennai. Chennai generally, we've seen right through this tournament, has been a high-scoring venue where batters have scored a lot of runs. So we're expecting more of the same from this game as well. But surprisingly, Zimbabwe won the toss and elected to field again, something they did against West Indies and paid the price for it. So I was expecting them to bat first. But then anyways, they decided to field again, giving India the opportunity to bat first, score big runs, and then put that pressure on Zimbabwe. And, to a certain extent, keeping in mind that net run rate wasn't a bad thing from an Indian perspective. So a little bit of a surprising decision from Zimbabwe to bowl first, but then an opportunity for India. So a couple of changes, India batting first, Sanju Samson into the playing 11, and so was Akshar Patel. Now let's pause for a second. In T20 cricket, every run that you score stays on the board. It doesn't disappear. It keeps building your total. Even the quiet overs matter. Now think about your everyday spending. Groceries, travel, dining, bill payments. What if every purchase kept adding value without ever expiring? With IDFC FIRST Bank lifetime free credit cards, your reward points never expire. They stay with you whenever you want to use them. No ticking clock, no forced redemption, just rewards that accumulate, just like runs on the scoreboard. Because real advantage is not about one big shot. It's about what stays with you right till the end. IDFC FIRST Bank. Now, India batting first, the big challenge was, can they play freely? Because I don't think the Indian batters have batted as freely as we've seen them do that in the last couple of years. In the last game as well, it seemed like they looked a little restricted in how they batted. Secondly, Sanju Samson opening the innings, and that changed the equation a little bit, because what we were expecting, both the left-handers opening and then Sikandar Raza, their off-spinner, opening the bowling, but now suddenly Sanju Samson's opening the batting then. So you got a right-hander, left-hander, then Ishan Kishan at 3, Surya at 4, and Tilak at 5. And this is a perfect batting lineup in terms of left-hand, right-hand combination. You have that. If required, you can always change that batting order after number 3. Let's say Surya, Tilak can interchange or something on those lines. They started with both their fast bowlers, Engarava and Muzarabani. And what was pleasing to see was that freedom again, batting freely, They're expressing themselves, aggressive brand. The pitch did help. Let's be honest, the pitch was a really good one to bat on. That helped India's cause as well. And in the first 6 overs, India were 80 for 1. And it was a perfect batting innings if you think about it, where yes, back end Hardik got a 50, but everyone played impactful innings, 20s, 30s, 40s, but high strike rates. And that is what T20 cricket is to a great extent, especially on pitches like these. And secondly, this is what has been India's brand of cricket, or brand of batting at least. So it was wonderful to see India go back to that brand again and playing freely, batting freely. And now obviously, because the off spinner didn't come in and Abhishek had the pace of the faster bowlers to work with, I thought they may have missed a trick not to have bowled slower deliveries to Abhishek Sharma, not enough of slower deliveries. My biggest challenge, what I thought with Abhishek, was because of these lower strings of scores in the last 4 games, whether he's going to still bat with the same fluidity and flow. And it was wonderful to see that flow again in his batting. So that was the first half. Ishan came and did his job, Surya did his job, and then obviously the last partnership. I mean, Hardik was absolutely magnificent. Tilak Verma was absolutely magnificent. And no wonder India got a huge total that India needed to get that. One is that net run rate. Also, most importantly from the batting perspective, is actually to get that flow in the batting and get that confidence, because last couple of games just seemed like the Indian batting, there was a little lack of confidence. Could be because of the pitches or whatever. India needed an innings like this, and that's exactly what they got. Now, obviously, with so much of runs to play with, always going to be difficult for the Zimbabwean batters to chase it down. But the idea was, can they give a fight? It didn't start off well. It started slowly, even though they did not lose too many wickets. It just seemed like they wanted to get into the game or use it as more of an experience going forward for the Zimbabwe batters. Surya Kumar has gone back to that old template where did not start with Jasprit Bumrah. This is the template that Surya followed for most part of the last 2 years. Jasprit Bumrah comes in the second half of the power play, not with the new ball. And that's what again happened today with Hardik opening along with Arshdeep and the Bumrah coming in later. I like this. I know a lot of people say Jasprit Bumrah, the best bowler in the world, should bowl the first over to put pressure. Yes, that is one thing for sure. But secondly, if you think about it, a lot of the teams don't really attack in over 1 and 2. They attack in over 4, 5, 6, especially if they haven't lost wickets. It allows you to have more overs or over of Jasprit Bumrah in those middle overs between 7 and 14, ideally 11, 12. If there is a partnership, you have that freedom of using Jasprit Bumrah. Hardik bowled beautifully, Arshdeep bowled well. I think everything went according to the plan, but couple of concerns. One is Shivam Dube. He went for 40 odd in his 2 overs, 46, because he's the 6th bowling option. India would really do well not requiring the 6th bowling option, but you would more often than not, you would want at least an over or 2 from the 6th bowling option, and Shivam hasn't. The other important thing, even though Varun did not give a lot of runs or was a bit of a comeback, 35 runs from his 4 overs, 1 wicket as well. But I still have a feeling he wasn't at his best, because what Varun does is bowl consistently that in-between length. In this game, the big thing was whether he's going to get his rhythm back, his length back. I thought he was a tad bit on the shorter side, so he bowled that length but not consistently enough, and that's what Varun's strength is. A good performance, a clinical performance, victory by 77 runs. Everyone did contribute, and it was a really good and a convincing win, something that India needed. Well, the turning point for me is the introduction of Sanju Samson into the batting unit. And I'll tell you why. One is obviously, the impetus or the start that he gives, attacking one and a brisk start. But very importantly, getting a right-hander in there. Now, most of the teams are using an off spinner to start against India top order, right? All 3 left-handers. Now, suddenly with Sanju there, and I would like to believe going forward as well, teams would think twice before getting their off spinners. Things would be a little different for the opposition. They would hesitate a little bit getting an off spinner on with Sanju as an opener. So I think that makes sense, because there was this left, right through till number 6, number 7. And that, for me, I think is a turning point in terms of that batting order forcing the opposition to think differently from what they would normally do without Sanju being in the side and 3 left-handers in 1, 2, 3 position. It was an important game for India. One, obviously to win, but also win convincingly and get some kind of a flow. From that perspective, this game was very important. India getting that flow back. In the past games, in this World Cup, I don't think India has brought their A game to the table. This was the best game that India played. With all due respect, Zimbabwe is a good side, but not playing their best, especially not at their best in terms of confidence after the West Indies game. All of those factors did help, but you can only do as much as you can. I think this is the game that India needed to bounce back or get back into the right groove after that South Africa game. And this would give them a lot of confidence. A victory like this, a performance like this, going into a must-win scenario against West Indies in Kolkata, because it's not going to be easy. So this was an important day. It's a very, very important day for India. The other result to go your way, which it did, with South Africa beating West Indies convincingly, and then obviously India winning with a big margin. That also happened. Now going forward, next game is a quarterfinal. It's a knockout game. It's a straight shootout. Whoever wins qualifies. I think a victory like this for India and a defeat for West Indies augurs well for India going into Kolkata for that must-win game on the 1st. Thank you for watching Super Over Decoded, an initiative by Elite Sports.